Good morning, it's Shanna. We are going to take a look at the Yellow House Tarot today, and I am downstairs again this week, and that means you're going to hear traffic potentially, my cat, my dogs tip-tapping around, but this is where I'm at. This is where I can record this morning. So I just got this in a few days ago. I shared a quick flip through on Instagram, and you guys basically lost your minds over it for good reason, because it's a gorgeous little deck. So I wanted to come on and do a walkthrough, a more in-depth walkthrough, and then some pairings. So we'll do the pairings at the end, but let's just get right into this. This is by Heidi Nickerson. Obviously, I will link her Etsy shop below, but she does also have an Instagram that's actually really cute. I love when people can curate their Instagram pages to just, fit the vibe of whatever they're selling or what their theme is. So she's done a beautiful job of it, and she's a witch, a house witch, which, is essentially what I am. I don't know. Titles are weird for me. Like, I want to have this title, but then I don't know, then there's all this pressure. But anyway, if I were going to title myself as some kind of witch, it would be a house witch. So the reason I bought this was because I've lived in my house now for just a little over 5 years, or maybe just barely 5 years. And I don't really feel connected to it. I love my house. I love the backyard. It's just the right size for us, but I don't feel connected to it. Yes, my cat wants outside. And I really want to feel that connection. So I thought this might be the perfect way to, connect to that house spirit. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Oh, she included a sticker, so I just put that in the bottom of the box. It doesn't come like this, but it's cute. Also, grab a cup of coffee or tea if you'd like. Okay. Let's take a quick peek at the guidebook. It is your typical, indie guidebook, but she's done a beautiful job of putting it together. You get a small page, one page and a small write-up for each of the majors. I believe it follows throughout, yes. So it's the same. And then you get it looks like some of them you get 2 keywords, and then others you get more of like a statement. So like Queen of Wands is relationship with nature, which is actually really nice. I like that. Past experiences, heated up. Interesting. Knight of Cups, heated up. I'll have to look into that. Like I said, I just got this in. I haven't even done a spread with it. I haven't done a get to know you spread, introduction spread, anything like that with it. So yeah, this is a walkthrough, although I will say it has been shuffled. So if that bothers you, I apologize. I don't feel like putting it back in order, so I will not be doing that. So we have the Fool, and I believe she said that this is based off of her own house. So I imagine this might be what her front door looks like, but I just felt like it just had this like warm, cozy, maybe not quite. Yeah, no, it definitely has kind of that grandma vibe. I love it. And I think it'll be the perfect deck to connect with my house's spirit. How should we do this? Maybe we'll do it like this for now, and then we'll switch sides as the other side gets taller. Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups, which I love. I might want to, I was curious if this is maybe her and her daughters, or maybe just her daughters, or her and her sisters. Let's take a quick peek and see if it says. It does not say, however. Oh, she has 4 sons, no daughters. Oh, that's really sweet. She genuinely seems like a very nice person, which, extends itself into her deck. 4 of Cups. You've got the hammock here. You've definitely got that kind of that stepping away energy. Sorry, I'm like focused on the got your 3 cups down here and the 1 up here for the person, whoever's laying in the hammock. I don't get the sense of like withdrawal per se, or, you know, kind of that mopey energy that sometimes you get in the 4 of Cups. This almost feels more 7 of Swords to me. Let's see what it says. I like this. It says 1 cup meets your needs. The needs of others can wait. Your own cup must be full before you can share with others. And then it looks like she's got a single journal prompt. I missed that when I first looked. Yeah, she's got a single journal prompt for each of the cards, which is great. I love that. 5 of Cups. We've got a sink full of dirty dishes. The Magician. Recipe book. I love that. That makes perfect sense. You've got your pencil here. Looks like you've kind of got like, maybe if you're going to go with like, you know, traditional symbolism, you've got your, cup, pentacle, and then the swords to me would be the recipe book, where you're kind of in it, you know, thinking how you're going to prepare that dish. And then we have 6 of Cups. She's got the name Lily here, which, you know, when I first flipped through again, I wondered if maybe it was her daughter, but where she has just sons. Perhaps it's a sister. I don't know. This card reminds me of the deck that Candy Soul and Soil is or was creating. I'm not sure if she's still creating it, but something about like a toy cupboard or something like that. But that's what that card reminds me of in a good way. Then we have the High Priestess, 7 of Cups, all the indecisions of what kind of tea to have. I love that. My daughter would love this. She likes to drink tea. I like tea occasionally. Oh my goodness. My little dog has been having some kind of like, I don't know, some respiratory issues perhaps. Anyway, if she does that, I'll try to edit those out in the future. She's fine. Okay, the Empress. With just all of this abundant like pots of, looks like pansies to me. She's got her trowel, seed packets, some, looks like a pitcher of water, fresh strawberries. Everything's just so lush in this deck. The 8 of Cups. So here we have like scrapbook and then some photo albums, a sand timer. So sort of that, maybe walking away from all of these memories. And then history book. A suitcase at the top. This is an interesting take on the card. I like that. 9 of Cups. I love the Emperor. I get a feeling that the creator does as well, because she has shown this card several times, and I believe it's one of the pictures on her Etsy listing, and for good reason, because it's just gorgeous. Just having that sense of putting things in their place and having them belong there, and being able to control the view that you see every time you walk past it. I love that concept. Whether it's you being the Emperor in control of this space, or if the case represents the Emperor. I think depending on your question, it could go either way. I love it regardless. 10 of Cups. The Hierophant. I like how there's not actually a person sitting here. You could sort of imagine whether you're the one sitting down here being taught something or listening to stories, or if you're going to be the one to sit in one of these chairs to do the teaching. Although if I was going to choose a chair, I would choose this one because that's the one with the footstool. I call it the footstool. Page of Cups. And I do like, I'll pull this one aside. I'll try to remember each of her suits, her court suits, has a corresponding ribbon color. And I really think that's beautiful. It's reminiscent of, makes me think of another tarot. I'll put an image here on the screen. I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh, the White Sage Tarot, where that has ribbons throughout. I just think this is such a beautiful picture. But yeah, I'll set that aside because I wanted to kind of highlight what she's done with the suit, or the courts, excuse me. Then we have the Lovers. I was curious about this one. It says the enormous bed is layered in beautiful fabrics and a silver tray full of indulgences. It says the enormous bed is layered in beautiful fabrics and a silver tray full of indulgences calls to you. Swept into a world of sensuality and beauty, you become more present to each moment. This mindfulness guides you to the ultimate destination, connection. The truest romance, the greatest love, is being seen, understood, and experienced as your most authentic self. I think that's lovely. All right, the Chariot, a bike with a flower basket on it. I adore this. Knight of Cups. This was one I was curious about simply because when I was flipping through the book, the description, I'll just put those here like this temporarily. The description in the book heat it up. The Knight of Cups brings warmth to a situation and can melt people's hearts. But remember, a watched pot or kettle never boils. Be patient as the energy grows. This process can't be rushed. Let the momentum build. And this actually has 3 journal prompts, which I won't tell you. I was curious about this one mostly because Knight of Cups is one of those cards that I just can sometimes struggle with. I just always have. I think I just don't connect to it easily, so. Do we want to set these all aside? Maybe. I'll try to remember to grab the other 2 out just so you can see them all together. Strength. This is very reminiscent. Maybe reminiscent isn't quite the word. I just watched a walkthrough of the Hedge Witch Tarot, which I am pretty sure I will be getting. It's not one I was at all interested in, but when I watched Robin's Reflections, she did a walkthrough of it, and it's actually really pretty. And the Strength card was really interesting. She stopped and read the description of it, but this concept of like correspondences or studying, maybe focusing, concentrating, that kind of thing, is just, that kind of reminds me of that. I think that's lovely. I love it. All these roses are so pretty. Okay, so here's the Queen of Cups. So here you can see, and it's like this for each court suit. Each of them have a different color. So I won't. Oh, look, the King. That makes it easy. Let's put the King and Queen together. I always like to see the King and Queen together. And her name's on it. Aw, that's cute. Look, got your little cow creamer. This is just such a little cozy, just such a cozy deck. I don't even remember how I saw it. I think it just popped up on my Instagram. And I was like, excuse me, what is this? Okay, we have the Hermit. Ace of Swords. Get that artistic energy, the beginning of a project. Two of Swords. Do we do our art, or do we focus on our to-do list? This urgent notice appointments here waiting. I love this. Especially, I feel like a lot of us tarot enthusiasts are quite creative, and so I feel like we can all understand this to a certain degree. Do we follow our passion in the moment, or do we do what's required of us? Time, and this is for the Wheel of Fortune, which I thought was beautiful. 3 of Swords, return to sender. 4 of Swords. So this is kind of the rest card that I said reminded me, was it the 4 of Cups? Yeah, the 4 of Cups. So let's take a look at this one. It says, the candle is blown out, the paint's put away, and the sketchbook closed. It's time to stop. Rest. You can finish this tomorrow. This situation has been worked as much as it can be. Now let the subconscious mind sort things out as you sleep. I like that. Yeah, sometimes you just get going and before you know it, you're frustrated with the project. So instead of maybe getting to that point, just stop and come back to it tomorrow. So we have Justice. Okay, I'm going to look again. I hope this doesn't drive you guys nuts. I guess you can kind of just skip over the parts you don't want to know about, but I'm curious about her write-up of this one. It says the baker is only as good as the recipe. You get out what you put in. Natural consequences play out, and that which seeks resolution will be resolved. I won't read the whole thing. I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, that makes sense. You get what you put in. Interesting. I like that a lot, actually. It really leans into that, like, house witch, cook, energy in your space kind of vibe. The Hanged One. 5 of Swords. That frustration. 6 of Swords. Let's look. 6 of Swords for me is kind of that escape, getting out of a sticky situation. Before I look at the guidebook, let's see. So for me, what I see is maybe stepping away from the more serious work and leaning into something a little more frivolous or carefree to be able to focus back on what's important, but being able to step away from it long enough to sort of refresh your mind. That's what she wrote. Using markers suits the young artist's needs as they begin to practice. Through the passage of time, the artist grows, transitioning into a more advanced set of skills. The tools grow and improve as well. Interesting. Okay. 7 of Swords. Looks like you've got your junk drawer of all the things. I grew up with a junk drawer. I don't really have one, although I have a junk bin. It's like this big. We call it the blue bin. That's what we call it here. Someone's looking for something, go check the blue bin. Temperance. 8 of Swords. I like this visual. You've got your muddy water, all these colors that you've been using and have mixed in, and you sort of feel maybe hemmed in by that. When really all you have to do is, empty this jar and refill it with fresh water. This is your own doing. Like, you have put yourself in this situation to have this jar of dirty water. But you have the power to go ahead and just dump it out and start again. I love this Devil card. It's a great concept. Feeling tied to social media. Okay, I'm going to let the cat out. Come on. Come on. Okay. 9 of Swords. Yeah, worst nightmare. Okay, not your worst nightmare. Obviously, this is not the worst thing that could happen, but as a mom, this did happen. I'm sure most of us can relate if we're parents, that at some point your child is going to be destructive in some way, whether it's cutting their own hair or coloring on the walls, Spilling green nail polish on your rental place. Yes, that happened. It's a test of patience for sure. A test of your strength. The Tower. Very precarious. 10 of Swords. Looks like her water has maybe spilled out all over the paint. Or perhaps maybe this isn't water. Maybe it's just her jar of paintbrushes. Maybe the artist is finished. It's been completed. Whether or not you're happy with it, no one knows. The Star. A relaxing bath with some teacups and a candle. Rose petals in the water. That looks lovely. Page of Swords. Let's go ahead and move this over here now, just so we're not getting shadow. Knight of Swords. The Moon. The Sun. I wonder if she has this chandelier in her house. Queen of Swords. Judgment. The World. I love this. It's so pretty. Ace of Coins. She's got her hot mitts on. Cooked some cupcakes, cookies. Two of Coins. Ace of Wands. Three of Coins. Looks like they've prepared some dishes to go to their neighborhood potluck. I also like where her last name is Nickerson. Obviously, you know, she's been assigned to dessert. Obviously, she has done that. Just a nice little detail that could have easily been missed, but I appreciate that it was not. Three of Wands. Four of Coins. We've got our macaroons under the dome to keep them safe. Four of Wands. So it looks to me like you've got several interests that are competing for your attention. Music for color something. We've got gardening, watercolor, tarot, learning tarot, and baking. Five of Coins. Yes. Burnt cookies. The worst. Six of Wands. Let's read on this one. I'm curious. The sink is clear of dishes and a bouquet of flowers rests on the counter, awaiting a vase. You feel the contentment and peace that comes after the hard work of putting things in order. This is a moment of victory. Celebrate it. Victories can be large or small. Even the satisfaction that comes with finishing a task, like cleaning the kitchen, is worth noticing and taking satisfaction in. Yes, 100% yes. Six of Coins. Seven of Wands. I love this. This reminds me of the Tildwick. I want to say it was the Seven of Swords card. If I can find it, I'll insert an image, but that's what this reminds me of. I love this. Eight of Wands. Seven of Coins. Just all the hard work that you've put into it and time. Nine of Wands. 10 of Wands. The creator has a really cute reel on her Instagram about this one. It's very sweet. Eight of Coins. 9. Page of Wands. 10 of Coins. Knight of Wands. I love this one. I think it's beautiful. The action of, planting that seed and caring for it and watching it grow. Page of Coins. I love this one too. Got a little recipe down here. no, I hope that's been in focus this whole time. Goodness. I think my camera's on a fixed focus, so we'll leave stuff down there. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Ace of Cups. Knight of Coins. I love these greens, they're so pretty. Queen of Coins. King of Coins. And then the Two of Cups. All right, let's give this a quick shuffle. This is a smooth, no, I lied. It's a linen cardstock. Again, I'm not sure why my camera is focused. The focus seems to be locked. So try to keep things down on the table. All right, let's find some pairs. So first I did the Lammas oracle for obvious reasons. It's very yellow. I mean, look at that. This might be perfect. Hilltops and the star. This doesn't quite, aesthetically, color-wise, perhaps, but the vibe isn't quite the same. This feels very spring, summer, if we're going with seasons, where obviously this is fall. This feels a little too deep. Yeah, I'm not loving this one right off the bat. Okay, love the backs though. Too bad that didn't work out. I'm sure, I bet the Austera Seasons of the Witch would look good with this though. Let's look at Earthly Souls and Spirits. I was literally just grabbing some of these off my shelf. And I wondered if this one would look good just because, you know, it's almost this season, and I thought if I could find a few oracles that would carry this spring, summer into the fall, that would be great. I like that these are closer in size. Manifest with Ace of Cups, that could definitely work. Nine of Swords with Gratitude. You know, I really like that together. Despite this, like, you know, initial knee-jerk response to whatever, you know, anxiety-inducing thing that just happened, having a gratitude of, well, you know, I have these beautiful four walls to be drawn on. They're not supposed to be drawn on, but I have them. I have these beautifully framed artwork. I have a gorgeous table that's, you know, that seats everyone in my house. So it's a good reminder. I like those two together. I had a customer come into the store yesterday, or a couple days ago, and she was upset because the parking meter only, you know, you had to start at 30 minutes, and she'd only been in the store for a couple of minutes. She just had to grab her, whatever it was she needed. And she wasn't grumpy, but she was like, oh, you know, I just paid for 30 minutes of this thing, and I get 2 minutes of it. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm like, well, you can always look at it as, you know, that is your pay it forward for the day. Someone else will get free parking, or a few people will get free parking to run in and get what they need. And she was like, huh. She says, I didn't really think about it that way. That's such a good way to think about it. And sometimes it's nice to have a little reminder to ground us back to what's actually important. So we have the Devil with Clarity. I love that, actually. King of Wands with Joyous. I like the colors. I think this works well with, you know, kind of pulling in that fall. Queen of Wands with Wisdom. This is the Queen of Wands. This is the same cat. I love that. Aw. This is beautiful together. Eight of Swords with Balance. And I haven't really been able to find a good tarot deck to go with this. Like, I love this deck, this oracle. I just Hadn't found one, so maybe this is it. I do like this. Page of Coins with Compassion. Temperance with Angelic. Knight of Wands and Success. Let's end it there because look at those colors. Beautiful. Okay, I do very much like this oracle with it. Okay, next I chose Outgrow Yourself. This might be a little too outer edge. I'm not sure. Let's see. Seven of Swords. This definitely deepens the tarot. We rise by lifting others. Six of Swords. Do you accept yourself fully? I like this because despite what the guidebook says, I still feel like this is more about not to argue with what, the creator wrote in her guidebook, but for me, intuitively, what I was getting was that taking a break from the hard work, and allowing yourself to just get creative and messy for a minute. And I like that for, do you accept yourself fully? Do you accept, the fact that you need to take a break, the fact that you are creative, but you're also allowed to just doodle with Crayola markers. I like that a lot, actually. 10 of Coins with what do you secretly wish for? Oh, I like that a lot. Because which one, who of us doesn't secretly wish for this? I mean, maybe you don't. I know I do. It's not really a secret. All right, Page of Wands and Be There. I have written, I wish this would focus, but I've written the 4S for Four of Swords. I've done that for each of the minors in this deck because I don't know Thoth, and the images aren't always super clear for me to distinguish what card it is. So Four of Swords with the Page of Wands, Be There. I like that. Hide your secret under the tree with Death. This is actually really good. 9 of Coins. Every day, in every way, things will be better. I feel like this could be a good, potentially shadow work duo. 5 of Swords with Blossom. Or just, if you wanted to use this in the winter, but it's maybe feeling a little too summery, you bring this in to have that little bit of darkness, a little bit of edginess. You only fail when you stop trying, the Hanged One. Oh, I like that. All right, one more. 8 of Coins. I make it happen. Yes. Okay, we're at 40 minutes and I've got a few oracles left to go, so let's move on. Okay, next I have the Faerie Guidance Oracle by Paulina Faye, or Paulina Cassidy. She goes by many names. But I thought, I won't pull out all of these actually, I'll just do a few. I thought the colors could work. All right, we have Justice and Enlightenment. Enlightenment will unearth your higher consciousness. I think the colors look nice together. 10 of Wands with Sanctuary. Within your heart, a space of regenerating sanctuary awaits. Four of Swords. Expression unleashes and empowers your inner creative. I don't know. I mean, I think it can work. I'm not feeling like they're vibing as much as the other two. 3 of Swords with Prosperity. I don't know. I think it could work. I think I could. But I'm not, it's not grabbing me immediately. So let's put that one aside. All right, then I chose the Messenger Oracle. This is I don't know if it's one of the first or a later printing, I'm not sure, but it's the one with this back. So I liked the green in this a lot. So let's flip this one since we already used that. 7 of coins with love that you are different. I've said this in another video. I have a hard time just slapping a couple decks together without shuffling first. I feel like they need to sort of be in each other's space before I can try to pair them. So I'm going to do a quick shuffle. Interesting. Okay. Shuffled twice and I still wound up with this one on top. So that's the one we're going to go with. This is the order we'll be in. 3 of coins. 3 of cups. Surrender to the flow. That's really beautiful together. I love these greens. Queen of Swords with nurture all you love. If this isn't Queen of Swords, I don't know what is. Like that's, yeah, I love that. 9 of Cups with embrace the feminine. This is beautiful together. I don't think I would even try to pair the Seasons of the Witch, spring, Austera necessarily. I think this could work very well for a spring pair. The Fool, know you belong. Knight of Wands, focus and then act. Yes, that's perfect together. The Sun, have courage. Holy moly, you guys, look at that. This is beautiful. 2 of Wands, be patient. Yeah. Oh, I love this. The Moon, change is unavoidable. Eight of Cups, we are all connected. Knight of Swords, wash away your burdens with the eraser. Okay, my cat wants back in. Come on, both of you come in. Hi. Can you go find something else to do now, please? Okay, let's look at a couple more. I'm really liking this one. I think I like it equally as well as the Earthly Souls and Spirits. So we have 7 of Swords with heed the messengers. Interesting. I feel like that's sort of, I know it doesn't quite go along with what the 7 of Swords means, but I like that, with this oracle, I feel like this is sort of like look at the signs, what pops out here to you? Is it the sketchbook, the receipt, the tape, the to-do, the broken pencil? What is the word? Carrie at Mystical Musings talks about this a lot, looking for signs essentially. And I like that a lot. Pulling open your junk drawer, sort of like bibliomancy, but with a junk drawer, pulling it out and deciding what stands out to you in that moment. I like that a lot. Okay, one more and then we'll move on to the next one. 7 of Wands, need and necessity. I like this. That need for cleanliness or having these tools within your belt, your proverbial tool belt, to care for what's important to you. This is so pretty. Okay, I know I said one more, but let's peek. One more, because I'm just so... Look at this color, you guys. Ace of Wands, respect your boundaries. This is gorgeous. Okay, I will be playing with this more, for sure. Okay, I've got 2 more. So we have the Wisdom of Trees Oracle. Ace of Wands with Pipple. I'm not sure what that is or if that's how you pronounce it. Two of Cups with Cherry. Six of Swords, Giant Redwood. This isn't initially grabbing me the way the other two did. Six of Coins and Oak. I might lean into the tree deck more without going into the guidebook, if I knew more about these trees. Two of Coins. King of Cups with Sweet Orange. Yeah, I mean, I think it could work. If I wanted to pull out the guidebook and work with it that way, which I would not be opposed to. All right, lastly is the colormageoracle, which, is going to work. Do a quick pick of some colors here. So I'm going to, let's pick a card. All right, Three of Wands. That's the one that wants to come out. Okay, Three of Wands. And then I'm going to pick from the color mage the way I do, which is to hold the deck above and choose colors that I find call to me without looking at the keywords. Okay, and then I'll just go through again until I've narrowed it down to one. And sometimes it takes me a few minutes, like what's the vibe? What's standing out? What is this card pulling out of the tarot? I think I'm gonna go with that one. Sweet Surrender, Three of Wands. That's a beautiful message to end this video on. Surrendering to the need for adventure, for putting yourself out there and heeding that call. Okay, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will catch up with you next week.